This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
Oh, who knew that Emperor Nero was writing op-ed pieces for the New York Times?
The thing is a total dog's breakfast.
This is Wretched Radio. Sit down, evangelical Christian. Some fingers are being pointed at you. This is not the first time. It will not be the last time. An article that is as frankly incoherent, unsubstantiated as any awful piece of literature possibly could be. The New York Times nevertheless publishes headline: "The road to coronavirus hell was paved by evangelicals."
Really?
Sound familiar, Emperor Nero? Who is the world blaming now for coronavirus? That's right, you evangelicals. Now, this piece is such blather. It's kind of laughable. So let's try to glean from it what we might be able to learn from this mess. Written by, I'm sorry, I thought it was Nero who wrote this. It's Catherine Stewart, author of The Power Worshippers: Inside the Dangerous Rise of Religious Nationalism. Well then, I guess I know her presupposition and attitude. If you've ever wondered, could evangelicals ever experience persecution in America? This would be another demonstration. The heart of the unregenerated hates Christ. Therefore, because they cannot lay hold of him and kill him again, they'll go after the Christ ones. And this article, to me, demonstrates that propensity. Am I suggesting this woman wants evangelicals put in jail? Well, she doesn't say that, so I'll assume not and put the best construction on it. Here's the article. Let's see what we can glean from this. The first line: Donald Trump rose to power. All right, let's just stop right there. This is an article about evangelicals. What is the first words? Donald Trump. Let's be mindful of this, and please note the necessary disclaimer. This is not a comment on Donald Trump. This is just an observation about what the world sees, in my opinion. Evangelicals and Donald Trump followers, supporters, voters, one and the same. In fact, we might be more known these days as Donald Trump supporters than evangelicals. This has nothing to do with a political commentary. This is a commentary about how the world sees evangelical involvement in politics. Whether it is accurate or not, in my estimation, is rather beside the point. That's the reality, and this woman demonstrates it. Donald Trump rose to power with the determined assistance of a movement that denies science. Yep, we sure does. I never takes no medications. I don't use none of that technological stuff.
And I don't
ever goes to no hospital. I don't ever use any chemical cleaning solutions to get up a stain or a spill. I deny science because I's an evangelical. Like I said, this article's just dopey. Bashes government. Okay. Do evangelicals tend to criticize government? Yeah, last time I checked, that wasn't a crime. You can obey and criticize. It's that whole freedom of speech thing.
This was in the New York Times. They never bash the government.
No, liberals never do.
Ever.
Like they bashed Donald Trump in this entire article. Oh.
Yeah, there's that.
Ow!
Is that hypocrisy?
You ever get like a really strong whiff of irony and it almost makes you sneeze? We don't believe in science. We bash government, and we prioritize loyalty over professional expertise. So this is going to lead to, we don't listen to the scientists. We believe Donald Trump knows better about coronavirus, and we should open up on Easter. Therefore, we're denying professional expertise. Look, that's a debate that's raging. This show has no desire to explore it. It's not what we do. But questioning whether it's government, professionals who most certainly have presuppositions and bring opinions about things. I thought that was a good... Isn't she questioning everything that we're saying? In the current crisis, we're all reaping what the movement has sown. Wow. Hence the headline, "The road to coronavirus hell was paved by evangelicals." This does not end. This is an absolute inane drubbing. At least since the 19th century, when the pro-slavery theologian Robert Louis Dabney attacked the physical sciences as theories of unbelief. Well, secular science is, isn't it? Hostility to science has characterized the more extreme forms of religious nationalism in the United States. To be clear, we all take medicine. We praise God for actual science. Historical science, that ain't science. Sorry. Data analysis is a skill to a degree, but I'm not even sure that qualifies as science, does it? Because it needs to be testable, verifiable, repeatable by definition, doesn't it? Today, the hardcore of climate deniers is Oh, I see. So we don't believe in global warming. So we don't believe in science. Okay, scientists have opinions on global warming. They're divided. It's an idea. It's not even a theory rising to the scientific definition. Nevertheless, it's concentrated among people who identify as religiously conservative Republicans. See the coupling? You're conservative Christian, you're a Republican. They're one and the same. Furthermore, what can we learn besides the fact that the world sees us just hip to hip with Donald Trump in every regard, being Neanderthalic, science-denying knuckleheads? Hold on. The denial of science and critical thinking among religious ultra-conservatives now haunts the American response to the coronavirus crisis. On March 15th, Guillermo Maldonado, who calls himself an apostle and hosted Trump earlier this year at a campaign event at his Miami megachurch, urged his congregants to show up for worship services in person. See? So this man, who calls himself an apostle, he represents all of us. Is there any distinction that the world makes amongst Christian people? Answer, no. So if a crackpot does something that the world esteems as, well, crackpotty, you get tarnished by it, Christian, like it or not. She goes on to cite Rodney Howard-Browne, who continues to meet at his megachurch in Miami. I'm not sure that I'd actually call it a megachurch, but nevertheless, he's meeting and saying, we're going to keep on meeting. He claims that they've got the most germ-free place in the entire world because they've got some sort of machine that's sanitizing people. So he's telling them, keep coming to church, even though we're told not to. Here's the articulate musings from a different article from TMZ, actually, from Rodney Howard-Browne. The pastor boasted his place was white glove clean, saying, quote, we brought in 13 machines that basically kill every virus in the place. And if somebody walks through the doors, it's like it kills everything on them. If they sneeze, it shoots it down at like 100 miles per hour. It'll neutralize it in split seconds. We have the most sterile building in, I don't know, all of America. So articulate. You just got lumped in with him. So when you see these people, which tend to come out of the NAR movement, behaving like this, another pastor in Louisiana, same story, you get broad brushed with it. If you have been wont to identify false teachers and false teaching, well, this would be a price to pay. When we don't scream, those people, they aren't, they're something else, but they're not with us, and we're not with them. Now, listen to this. Not every pastor is behaving recklessly, of course, and not every churchgoer in these uncertain times is showing up for services out of disregard for the scientific evidence. I don't know of any. Look, this is my little subjective opinion. I don't know of a single evangelical, even friends who are like, hey, I'm not so sure about the statistics on this deal. They're still doing what they're told. There's no any sort of support for this. There's no stats to back it up. Nevertheless, the accusations fly. None of the benign uses of religion in this time of crisis have anything to do with Mr. Trump's expressed hope that the country would be opened up and just raring to go by Easter. He could have said by mid-April, but no, he said Easter. It wasn't by accident. And therefore, somehow you and I are responsible for coronavirus. When you're engaged in a struggle between, quote, the party of life and the party of death, as some religious nationalists now frame our political divisions, yeah, I stand by that. You don't need to worry about crafting careful policy based on expert opinion and analysis. What? Where did that turn take? We're opposed to abortion, and she's from a party, no doubt, that lives to have the right to kill babies. And what is expert opinion and analysis policy? Unbelievable. This article, which, to say the least, is indeed a total dog's breakfast.
The thing is a total dog's breakfast.
It paints you and me, dear Christian, like first century, second century, every century, where the world will point a finger and blame Christians for their problems. Ain't nothing new under the sun. This is Wretched Radio.
What the world would be like without Wretched. Nobody wants this. Please become a Wretched Gospel partner.